And welcome to an evening of jazzing with a purpose. Now, the reason we are here tonight is to provide hope and inspiration to those that have ever dreamed of going back to school after life's interruptions. What do I mean when I say life's interruptions? Well, I want you to understand that no two situations are alike. The reason my educational path was interrupted is different than yours, and of course, yours is different than the next person, and so on and so on. But regardless of the hand that we were dealt, having to take care of our children while working two jobs after divorce, to putting our dreams and career path to higher education on hold, while we ensure our kids have a better opportunity in life than we did, somebody somewhere is doing worse off than we are. And guess what? They made it. In addition to the jazz music that you're going to be entertained with tonight from our guests who believe in the mission and vision of Take Two. Tonight is all about introducing you to a nonprofit organization that hears, sees, and understands your struggle and hope for obtaining more so that you can do more, not just for your family, but for your community. The Take Two Foundation, founded by Alice Bennett, our Chief Executive Officer, purpose is to invest in dreams and new beginnings, provide scholarships for non-traditional and independent students. Now, those things were founded on six major principles. The first, self determination. Take Two believes that the ability to be the change you want to see in others and in your life. Number two, perseverance. The individual who decides to follow their path to success and what they look like for them in spite of any obstacle. Three, creativity. When most people think of creativity, Take Two thinks of the arts. For creativity includes exploring your artistic talents and or coming up with ways to do things new and different. Innovation. Being innovative means creating a new product or idea or developing a new mindset towards improving one's quality of life through increased income and personal wealth for themselves or the next generation. Honesty. Honesty is very important to Take Two. Now, we expect potential awardees to be truthful in all aspects of their application, and we in turn pledge to review and award them with the most utmost level of respect and integrity. And that final pillar, service. Take Two was founded to be the service of others by helping them advance their educational goals through scholarship. It is important that our scholarship recipients have a plan to pay it forward and be of service to others. And speaking of others, at this time, what I would like to do is introduce our board of directors for the Take Two Foundation Incorporated. First up is Capri McDonald. Capri McDonald has 12 years of experience as a subject matter expert in the field of public health and health education, community outreach, and maternal and child health with an emphasis on early care and education. Capri received her undergraduate and graduate degree in public health education and promotion from East Carolina University. Her work has been centered on early childhood health and childhood systems capacity building. This includes working with agencies such as the Frank Porter Graham as an implementation specialist, North Carolina Partnerships for Children as an implementation coach, and as the Early Childhood Comprehensive System Coordinator for North Carolina Division of Public Health. Women's and Children's Health Sections, Children and Youth Branch. Prior to joining North Carolina Division of Public Health, Capri served in various positions, including Child and Family Health Programs Development Specialist with East Coast Migrant Head Start Project, where she was responsible for overseeing programs developed of written health procedures and providing training and technical assistance related to physical, mental health, and oral health services to Head Start staff. Capri started her professional career in services at a local health department as a health educator, child care health consultant, which her focus includes breast health and nutrition and physical activity assessment for child care. Capri is a very proud member of our board. Next up, myself, Garrett Davis. I am the CEO and founder of G. Davis Productions and Films and TV, and the award-winning 501c3 nonprofit, the Forget Me Not Project. We're headquartered here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and our mission is to create quality programs in an attempt to close the health disparities gap in communities of color. We penned and nationally toured over 20 theatrical productions, including two of the longest touring urban stage plays in America, Mama's Girls, 10 years, and of course, Forget Me Not, 12 years and counting. Our tours have been nationally sponsored in part by AARP, the Alzheimer's Association, pharmaceutical companies like Bayer, Pfizer, and AstraZeneca, Us Against Alzheimer's, and the American Diabetes Association, just to name a few. I'm an advocate for caregivers, senior citizens, and dedicated my life to creating quality programs via theatrical productions and short films that not only entertain but educate audiences on the importance of being the CEO of your own health and taking advantage of all the services that are available to provide quality care for those that you're caring for. Next up, my man, Greg Moss. Greg K. Moss, well, Dr. Moss. He is the pastor emeritus of the St. Paul's Baptist Church of Charlotte, North Carolina. He is a former president of the General Baptist State Convention and Lot Carey Mission Society. He also served as interim executive of Lot Carey. Now, Dr. Moss has served on numerous boards and commissions over 41-year span. He is passionate about education, community organizing, social justice, and empowering the disadvantaged. Retired since 2015, Dr. Moss continued to come alongside people and organizations dedicated to helping people rise up. Next up, Keena Clark Esquire. And Keena Clark is the Director of Gift Planning Services for the University of North Carolina Systems. Her role, Keena works with the advancement team and the North Carolina Gift Planning LLC to assist constituent institutions with the enhancement of their gift planning programs. Prior to joining the UNC Systems office, Keena served as the Major and Planned Gifts Officer at North Carolina Central University School of Law. An alumnus of the UNC system, Ms. Clark holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from East Carolina University and a Juris Doctorate from North Carolina Central University School of Law. She is also a licensed attorney for the state of North Carolina. And that leads us to our leader and the reason why we're here, the founder of Take Two, Ms. Alice Bennett, Chief Executive Officer. She writes, and I'm quoting her, "I won my first drawing contest when I was in third grade. Since then, I have grown to enjoy and appreciate all mediums and other aspects of the arts. Music is my absolute favorite. I once owned a bass guitar. I can't believe that. Can you imagine Alice playing bass? Now, she says she's a self-labeled amateur photographer. She loves dance and theater, and she is very happy to paint and sip when time allows. Once upon a time, in other chapters of her life, she sang in church and community choirs and was part of the African American dance group. She believes the arts help create a community to bring people together on one common accord. Research also shows art is good for our mental and physical health, especially as we age. And the people like to be entertained and will pay when the entertainment is good. So why not produce and provide the audience with a stellar artistic experience and use the funds to raise from their donation to help others advance in their lives and careers by providing scholarships to advance their education with the supporting of the arts. That is why Take Two was formed, and that is why we are here. And without further ado, I would like to bring to you our Chief Executive Officer of Take Two, Ms. Alice Bennett. Hello, Alice. Are you on mute, Alice? I can't hear you.
Yes, I was on mute. Thank you very much. I was saying I sound good on paper, huh? But thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And thank you to everybody who is on with us tonight. I see your comments in the comment section. We're having a little bit of a technical issue because I'm not able to respond, but thank you so much for being here, Pam, Fritz, Miss Gwen, the Harrises, and everybody else who's online today. Take Two has been in gestation with me for about 7 years now. The idea came to me when I was in law school, and I think now is the absolute excellent time for us to launch Take Two. You're watching in the news and everything that's been going on since 2019 with COVID and everything else that you could possibly think of. Every day you're hearing about people walking off of their jobs, you're hearing about people wanting to go back stations. A lot of times the picture that you see are individuals who are a little bit younger, your millennials and what have you, but there's very little conversation that's being had about the older individual who wants to go back to school to reinvent themselves. And thus that's why Take Two was formed. The whole idea is to be support for non-traditional and independent students. And with that, I want to say welcome to all of you. Tonight is special. This is the soft launch of Take Two. We only invited those of you that we consider special friends and family to be with us tonight so that you can hear a little bit more about this wonderful opportunity, get to enjoy some smooth sounds and some smooth jazz, and hopefully come on board to help us support such a wonderful effort. We thank you so much for being with us tonight. And again, as I said, we consider you family and friends. So please make sure that you're putting your comments in the chat. If you see somebody in there that you know, say hello. We will do the same. If the music sounds good, put that in there and say hello. If you want to sit back and get a glass of wine and just enjoy the sounds, we encourage you to do that too. But my heart is full to see how many of you are saying hello from the chat. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I'm going to turn it back over to Garrett so that we can get started with some sounds. So Garrett, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And thank you all so much. My heart is truly filled to see you all on with us this evening. So thank you.
Oh, good. And we're going to come back to Alice in a little bit. I got a couple of questions we want to ask Alice about Take Two. Now, one of the things before we get into our first entertainment tonight, which is five-story building, before we do that, I want to make a comment based on what Alice said. Alice said, we kind of put a lot of things on hold, but we do it for a good reason. We do it because we want our children to have a better opportunity at life than we did. And then once that goes, and once we do that, a lot of times we don't get an opportunity to go back and further our own education. Just kind of, we live through our children. But this is what Take Two is all about. This is about taking that time to say, you know what, I can go back and do it, and I want to do it. And so a little bit later on in the program, we're going to, talk to you about how you can make donations. We're going to talk about exactly how you can apply and all that's coming up. But now it's time to get into some music. And our first artist up is Five Story Building. It's a 5-piece jazz and R&B band based in Charlotte, North Carolina. The band was originally formed in 2010 to provide music for a meet and greet at St. Paul's Baptist Church. Now we see the link with Dr. Moss. The band set up in a gymnasium, and the combo of jazz and funk rhythms transformed the atmosphere. It is something soul-stirring. Now, this band of brothers decided to continue playing together, having noticed an instant gelling of personalities and the shared love of music. Since then, Five Story Building has played to many fun and meaningful events, including the ribbon-cutting ceremony at Romare Burden Park in Charlotte back in 2013, named after world-renowned Charlotte-born artist the Lot Carey Foreign Mission Convention in Greensboro in August 2015. In an effort to help address the issues of homelessness, the crowds are wowed by the awesome mix of genres, and the band aims to connect with each other's listeners in their seat. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first artist of the night, sit back, relax, and as our leader said, if you want to, have a sip of wine while you do that, I'm sure it'll go by good as well. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for our first entertainment for tonight.
Hi, I'm David Scott Gibson of the jazz and R&B group Five Story Building here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're really happy about the opportunity to participate in this concert put on by the organization Take Two, which is endeavoring to help people who are trying to rewrite, reimagine, or restart life. We know that that can't always be easy, and so we're glad there are groups out there like Take Two helping people to realize their new dream. This evening, we'll be playing 3 selections for you. The first is Afro Blue, written by Mongo Santamaria. The second is a rendition of This Christmas, written by Donny Hathaway and Nadine McKinner. And finally, an original piece from the group called Five Story Groove. We hope that this whole evening will be one of good music for a good cause. We hope you'll enjoy. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Alice, can you believe it's 2022?
No, I cannot. Especially after the 2 crazy years that we just had. No, I
I
cannot.
know, I
It's
know.
going by
Look,
so fast.
so before we get into all this entertainment, all the special guests that we've got, I kind of wanted to ask you a couple of questions to give our audience, that those that are watching tonight, where did Take Two come from? Where did this idea come from?
It came from the fact that I myself am a non-traditional student, went back to law school late in life, and I remember sitting in law school during the summer, doing the summer course, getting ready to go back to school for the fall.
Mhm.
And because I went back to school late in life, I relocated from Charlotte, went to Durham to law school, and did not work because you go back to school late in life. This old mind don't work like it normally works, so you have to have all your energy to focus on law school. So I was sitting there and I was like, okay, Lord, I got to do another student loan. And when I get out of law school, these student loans are going to be kicking my behind. And the whole idea was, people who go back to school late in life, who want to pursue something else, something for the next phase, shouldn't have to be burdened with student debt later in life because I'm gonna be paying this debt off for a minute. And I just feel like anybody else at this phase should not have to consider whether or not they want to go back to school, whether or not they can go back to school, and be limited by the fact that scholarships are just not available for those of us who are a little bit older and a little bit more seasoned.
Okay. So, like, what's the mission and the vision of Take Two?
Our mission and our vision is to be a scholarship funding source for the non-traditional student. And our whole vision statement is we invest in dreams and new beginnings for the non-traditional student through scholarship funding. So the whole concept of this process and the whole concept of what it is that I'm trying to do is just give back to the community, especially those who are wanting to go back to school later in life, and just help them along to the next phase.
And so one of the things that I was inspired by, everyone, needs a second chance in life. Things come up that we didn't anticipate, things come up that we didn't expect. And, we all want to do better. We all want to have that quality of life. And sometimes we feel as though, I don't know if I can go back to school. I don't know if I can do this. And I like the idea of having a nonprofit organization that's going to seek out and help and give people an opportunity to help them reach their dreams. And I applaud you for that effort. So
Thank you.
thank you. And we're going to get back to some of this great entertainment, and we'll be back right after this.
Thank you.
And so we're going to be talking with Alice throughout the evening. I want to throw some statistics out before we bring up the next artist. Now, Take Two, we define the non-traditional student as those over the age of 35 seeking to advance their career or learn a new skill set to reinvent themselves. Okay. We define the non-traditional student as the over age of 35 seeking to advance their career or learn a new skill set to reinvent themselves. And now, for more information about Take Two, I want you to go to the website, takeii.org. takeii.org, take2.org. 51% of independent students are parents. 42% of independent students live at or below the federal poverty line. 49% of students, aid recipients, are financially independent. 56% of adult students want to change careers, and 73% of adult students want to increase their earning potential. Take Two this is definitely a program that we want you to get involved with. Once again, takeii.org. Find out a little bit more about applying for these scholarships and funds, and also learning a little bit more about Take Two. Our next performance is none other than Rockwell Scott. She's a native of Brevoort, North Carolina, born into a family with generations of musicians and singers. She is not new to the stage, having performed as a vocalist for the United States Air Force Band of Mid-America for 4 years. She now serves as minister of music at her local place of worship. Her love of music has existed as long as she can remember. She is the proud mother of one son, Carter, age 17, and one daughter, Taylor, age 21. She's a triple threat. And what I mean by that, smart, beautiful, and gifted. She's also a gifted speaker. She aspires to one day be a successful audio engineer. So she is definitely diverse. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Raquel Scott.
Look at me. from my club. I'm too misty and too much in love. I'm too misty. And I'm too much in dream of land my soul is from. I hear a hand stroke on a drum. Elegant boy, beautiful girl. Let's sing for joy, delicate two young lovers are face to face with undulating grace. They gently swayed and slip away to some secluded place. Whispering trees echo sighs, passion please, tender replies, shades of delight, cocoa hue, rich as the night, afro dream of a land my soul is from. I hear a hand stroke on a drum. Elegant boy, beautiful girl, dancing for joy, delicate world, shades of delight, cocoa blue, rich as the night, oh, two young lovers were face to face with undulating grace. They gently swayed and slip away to some secluded place. Oh, whispering trees echo their sighs, passion that please, tender replies, shades of delight, cocoa blue, rich as the night, afro blue. And this next song is Daniel Caesar's Best Part. You don't know, babe, when you hold me, you kiss me slowly, it's the sweetest thing. And it don't change if I had my way. See, you know that you're the sunshine and those brown eyes. Oh, they make me feel so nice. And when you wake up and then make love, oh, it makes me feel so nice. I just wanna see how beautiful you are, 'cause you know that I see it. I know you're a star. You know that I see it, no matter how far. And if life is movie, that's you're the best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? You're the best part.
So, Alice, let's talk a little bit more about you specifically in terms of, you know, you had an opportunity to go back and finish. You just recently passed the bar. Is that correct?
Okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so when in terms of you, this is your second opportunity. Let's talk specifically about that. What did that feel like? Because I want people to, when they see you, when they see this program, we talk about a second opportunity. This is something that that you're looking at. This is something that you lived. So,
Mhm.
what was it like, that journey? Because I don't want people to think anything is easier said than done. But there was, I'm sure, some struggles and trials and tribulations with that. So let's kind of tell our audience about that a little bit.
There were definitely some struggles, trials, and tribulations. Because, like as I stated earlier, I went back to school in my mid 40s, and after being in the corporate world and working as a working as a community organizer, you go into that next phase of life with all of your experiences and all of your concepts and all of the things that you think that you know and you think that you're right. But you get to law school, and one of the first things they tell you is everything that you think you know you don't know. You
Hmm.
have to apply the law. You can't think about feelings. You can't think about what you think. It all has to be applied based on the law. And I can remember the funny story that I have to
Hmm.
tell you is when I got to Central, because this all happened real fast. I applied for a couple of law schools, and I got accepted at the School of Charlotte, and I got accepted at the Central. But then Central came a little bit later than I expected, and I had to turn everything around like really quickly. So I
Hmm.
had to like put my house on the market for rent. I had to
Wow.
sell everything out of the house and turned around real quick. I got to Central, had to find some place to stay. Luckily, we found a lady that kind of hosted me for the first semester before I could find an apartment. But when I got on campus and I got in line to get my student ID, it all hit me because everything was going so fast. I just didn't have time to think about it. I got in line and I saw the young lady, and there was a young lady in line in front of me. She had on the hair was the same color as her nails and the same color of her shoes. And I was like, oh my God, what in the world have I done? I hadn't sold my house. I hadn't sold everything out of my house. I ain't got nowhere to stay in Charlotte. Oh my God, I don't know if this is going to work. So I almost had a panic attack standing in line waiting for my student ID. So it was definitely some trials, some tribulations, but Central is this place where, they're very nurturing. They were very, just, I mean, they were just everything that a person that could think of wanted to go back to school later in life. They were perfect. But it does come with a lot of decision making. It comes with a lot of faith. It comes with a lot of hard decisions.
Hmm.
Because again, I didn't know anybody in Durham.
Hmm.
I didn't even know the lady that hosted me for the first semester.
Wow.
Right? And so it was, I mean, well, let me rephrase that. I knew someone in Durham,
Hmm.
but it wasn't the same thing as you leaving everything, because I lived in Charlotte for 20 something years. So I was leaving all of that behind and just stepping out on faith and believing that God had intended for this to happen. And I just did it. Scared
So,
to death, but I did it.
so what would you tell that person who is, because you said you was 40 plus when you did that, what would you tell that person who's in that 40 to 50, age range, who is thinking about going back to school, but a little bit nervous about, I can't do this. I might, sometimes we live through our children,
Mhm.
we put more into them when it's time to kind of put into us. So what would you tell that person who's kind of second guessing, a little bit undecided about, putting into themselves, that they're at a point in their life now whether they can, but they're afraid to?
It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to question. It's okay to second guess sometimes, but don't stay there. If you're a person of faith, like I'm a person of faith, fear is fear is the thing that kind of halts. If you get to a point where you're so scared you don't want to move, and move. Take that one step. Just do what it is that's in your heart to do. And I'm gonna tell you, because I didn't know the resources, where were they going to come from? Because again,
Hmm.
I wasn't working, I was in school full time. The resources are there sometimes, but if you have a dream, go for it. Step
Yeah.
out there, go for it. And that's one of the things that we're here for, to be a resource, a funding resource in particular. But don't be afraid.
Right. Okay. Well, Alice, thank you. We're going to come back to you in a little bit. But right now, we're going to get back to our next guest and some of this music right after this.
Thank you.
So, what I want you guys to do right now is this: write that website down, takeii.org. And what I want you to do is to pass that website on to someone. So as opposed to me giving you a pledge to say, support and pass the dollar along, I'm just going to say, Alice is a living testimony. You just heard what she just talked about. Let's do our part by spreading the wealth. And the wealth is spreading this information, talking about this particular organization. Share it. Share this program. At the end of the program, we're going to you're going to get the link. Those of you signed up, share this link. Everyone needs to know about Second Chance, about Take Two. I want to take a minute and say, let's give a round of applause to the entertainment that we've had so far. Oh my God, this last young lady. Oh my God, Alice, I need her. I need her, Alice. I got to find out. You got to hook me up. Was not just her, but even the first act. They were a great 5-story building. I mean, we've had some tremendous entertainment, and time is flying. We've only got about 15 minutes left in the program. But check this out. Before we get into our next artist, I want to talk about the mission, because in case you joined us a little bit late, we'd like to welcome you to an evening of jazzing with a purpose. Okay, the Take Two Foundation was founded once again in 2012 by Chief Executive Officer Alice Bennett. Now, the mission: to invest in dreams and new beginnings for those seeking to reinvent themselves for professional and personal fulfillment. Now, this is the vision for Take Two. As a primary scholarship funding source for the non-traditional independent students seeking to advance in their career or explore new skill sets, while also being a vehicle helping to address generational poverty and income inequity through advanced education. Unlike competing federal, state, corporate, and university scholarship programs, Take Two will provide funding to applicants based on need and without limitations regarding fields of study or geographic locations. Funding for Take Two will be empowered by entertainment and the arts and the generosity of those with philanthropic hearts, goals, and missions. We will use traditional means as well as technology to reach our intended donor audience. Now, the market is the non-traditional and independent student. For our purposes, we are defining the non-traditional student. Once again, I said it earlier, I want to repeat that, as those who are 35 years of age and up, seeking to advance their careers or learn a new skill set to reinvent themselves. This includes those who are re-entering society from incarceration. How important is that? Those who are re-entering society from incarceration. We're not trying to leave anyone out. I want to bring Alice back up on the set.
Hi,
Hey, Alice, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I just want to, before we get back into other things, just kind of what are you feeling right now? What's going through your mind?
More like what's going through my heart.
Okay,
How about that?
what's going through your heart?
In addition to listening to all of the wonderful entertainment, and I might loan you Tyler and Five-Story Building. We'll see. It might cost you a little bit of money.
I
We'll
need Tyler.
see.
I need
We'll
Tyler.
see because they have been absolutely amazing. But just seeing the comments in the chat and the congratulations from everybody and some of the folk that are online, Reverend Garris, Gwen, Judy Council, Irene, the Harrises, the Brits, my brother, my sister is online and her husband, and my heart is just full.
Mhm, mhm. And I'm gonna tell you, this is what this is all about, Alice. It's all about um, paying it forward, and that was one of the missions that you put within this. And
Mhm.
we're not saying that any of us on the board or any of us involved with Take Two have made it, but we are saying we're taking what God has given us and we're trying to make a way for someone else. And we can see it written all over your heart, not your face, but written all over your heart that's what you're about. You just want someone to have a second chance. And I think a lot of times people they give up on that second chance when life interrupts.
Yeah,
And when
they do.
life interrupts, they just think, well, that's it. I coulda, shoulda, and woulda. But you are here to remind us that now that season is over, now it's time to look out for me. And
Yeah.
I applaud
Yes.
you and celebrate you for that. And on behalf of the board, we really thank you for I didn't be honestly personally, tonight I'm really seeing what Take Two is all about. You can see things on paper,
Mhm.
but really tonight is really opening an eye for me, and I'm hoping that's why I'm challenging everyone to spread this website out to get everyone's affiliated with take2.org. Now, if there's a company that wants to make a donation, how do they do that, Alice?
If there's a company that wants to make a
Well, a
donation,
company or a person, if someone's feeling philanthropic.
well, and I do see that there have been others in the chat who are trying to make donations. But when you go to the take2.org site, there is an
Mhm,
actual tab there that says donate. If you click on that tab, it should take you to our PayPal page. And hopefully there won't be any issues. I saw someone was having an issue. I was
mhm,
trying to post the link in the chat, but for some odd reason or other, it wouldn't let me copy and paste it to the chat. I
mhm,
have no idea why. But if you go to Take Two, and what I will do, because after this event, we're going to send a thank you note, and I'm going to send a survey because I'd love for you all to complete a survey because one of
mhm,
the ways that we're funding Take Two, as Garrett mentioned, is through the arts. So I want to hear from you all. What are some things that you like to do in addition to an evening with jazz and with the purpose? Do you like theater? Do you like dance ensembles? Paint and sips, whatever that means. Just I want you to kind of give us an understanding of what that looks like, and we'll use that information to plan for other events next year. Because what we're planning to do is have an event each quarter where you all will make a donation towards that event. We are supporting the artists, and then the rest of the money goes to the scholarship fund where individuals can go back to school and try to reinvent themselves. Thank you, Gwen. Take Two. The name of that is just that. When we get later in life and we're ready to reinvent ourselves and for that next phase. So this is the Take Two, the second act of your life, and we're here to kind of help support you to get to that next phase. So thank you all so much for joining. And Gary, we go until about 8:15. We got another artist, so don't
Okay,
be
okay,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
rush.
we got another.
Don't be trying to rush my
Yeah.
people. Don't be trying to rush my people
I
off.
ain't trying to rush your people. I'm not trying to rush your people. I'm holding you hostage. I need the number of Tyler and 5-story building.
Well, I will, as long as you keep me, as long as you go to 8:15, I might consider it. I might consider it. But
All
what
right.
I will do again, for those of you who might be having an issue with the link, I'll be sure that it gets in the thank you email. So when you click on the link from the thank you email that I'm going to send out between now and 9 o'clock tonight, you'll get it before 9 o'clock. You'll be
All
able to click on that link. It should take you directly to the website. And once you go to the website, you should be able to hit the donate button and go directly to our PayPal page.
right. Okay. Thanks a lot, Alice. And so
You're
I'm going to
welcome. Thank you.
introduce our next artist. Our next artist is Adrian Crutchfield. And oh my God. So when I was reading, personally, having to prepare for this, I got chills. And so let me read it and I'm going to come back before he starts playing. I'll tell you why. So Adrian Crutchfield is known around the world for his neo soul sound. His silky smooth tambourine creates music in a variety of genres such as jazz, funk, hip hop, rock, and more. Now, Adrian's star began shining at the age of 4. Listen to what I'm saying. His star began shining at the age of 4 when he received his first saxophone during a concert in Roanoke, Virginia, from acclaimed jazz artist Kenny Gorlick. You know him better as Kenny G. Now, who noticed Adrian's interest from the audience. So listen to what I'm saying. So Kenny G, renowned jazz saxophonist, notices the interest of a 4-year-old from the stage. And that's why I truly believe, not trying to get spiritual, that your gift will make room for you. He noticed Adrian's interest from the audience, stopped the show. He stopped the show, invited him on stage, playing a childish melody, and finally bestowing the sax to Adrian. Can you imagine at 4 years old receiving a sax from Kenny G? Known as the last horn man to perform and record from 2012 to 2016 with Prince and the New Power Generation, Adrian is featured on many of Prince's final masterpieces during the 2017 Grammy-nominated Hit and Run Phase 2. Adrian has also had the privilege of performing with many of today's brightest stars, such as Lionel Richie, Bette Midler, CeeLo Green, R&B icon Anthony Hamilton, Fantasia, Casey and JoJo, and hip-hop superstar Young Jeezy. In jazz, Mr. Crutchfield has been featured by names such as Brian Culbertson, oh wow, Kim Waters, Mike Phillips, Alex Bouillon, Jeff Lober, Branford Marsalis, the legendary Marsalis family, and the legendary groups such as Foreplay and the Gap Band featuring Charlie Wilson. In 2008, he graduated from Florida State University with a BA in music with a concentration in jazz, contemporary media, and commercial music. Although young, this saxophone aficionado is one of the generation's most prolific and successful professional musicians. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, pick up your glass, and let's watch Adrian Crutchfield.
play one of my favorite songs for you, and I'm gonna use this really cool toy. It's called an Iwi. It's the Akai Iwi 4000. I'm gonna use it to sing a song, almost like if Roger Troutman from Zapp met T-Pain. It's like having auto-tune and talkbox, and it's called the vocoder. So I'm gonna do that on this song. Check it out. And if you know the song, feel free to sing along. All right? You think you know it? Ooh, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I can't explain why your love, it makes me weak. I don't know what it is that you've done to me that's got me acting in such a crazy way. But whatever it is that you do when you do what you're doing, it's a feeling that I just want to stay. 'Cause my heart starts beating triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I can't figure out just what to do when the causing cue is you. Sing along if you know it. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me in a daze. Yet it's so amazing, it's not a phase. I want you to stay with me by my side. I swallow my pride. Your love is so sweet, it knocks me right off of my feet. I can't explain why your love, it makes me weak. Time after time after time I tried to fight it. Oh, but your love is strong, it keeps on holding on. My resistance is around when you're around, I'm fading. In my condition, I don't wanna be alone, no, no. 'Cause my heart starts beating triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I can't figure out just what to do when the causing cue is you. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me in a daze. Yet it's so amazing, it's not a phase. I want you to stay with me by my side. I swallow my pride. Your love is so sweet, it knocks me right off of my feet. Yeah, I can't explain why your love, it makes me weak. Do you know this part? I try hard to fight it, no way can I deny it. Your love so sweet, it knocks me off my feet. Said I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me in a daze. Yet it's so amazing, it's not a phase. I want you to stay with me by my side. I swallow my pride. Your love is so sweet, it knocks me right off of my feet. Yeah, I can't explain why your love, it makes me weak. Ooh, yeah, I can't explain why your love, it makes me weak. Oh, I can't explain. It makes me weak. Did you like that?
Once again, my name is Adrian Crutchfield. Follow me on Instagram, Real Good Sax. I'll see you next time. Love you guys.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you guys enjoy that? Yes, time flies when you're having fun. I'm going to bring up my good friend Alice. Bring her up with me. Alice. Oh my goodness. Whoo. That boy bad.
Yes, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he
Oh
is.
my
Yes,
God.
he is.
And not to take anything away from anyone else, all the talent on this show tonight was extremely, extremely over the top. My good friend Scott Sable was supposed to be on tonight. Scott called me. He's at the hospital with his dad. So, those of you that know the words of prayer, you know we're living in a difficult time where the least or the even something as simple as whatever it is, you know, our hearts and minds always go straight to COVID and go straight to whatever's taking place. So please, Scott Sable, and as you know, he's very close to his father. Please keep him in prayer during this time. He did text me, Alice, and said, we are working on next event, and we had talked about having that. An artist with the painter. Well, Scott said, "Don't worry about it. He's gonna do it." So, but let's make sure, family, for just a minute, that we just lift Scott Sable and his family up in prayer. What he's going through with his dad. But getting back to this, Alice, I am blown away. This was. I think you came out the box. You talking about a soft launch. I think this is you kicked the door down.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been emotional for me
Mhm,
because I stated earlier this project has been in gestation for like 7 years. This idea came to me in my second year of law school. It was in 2014,
mm,
and to see it tonight and to see all the support from everybody. And I know my brother will start laughing if I start crying, so I'm not gonna start crying because he'll get me every time he said, "Don't you start crying." But this has just been an absolutely amazing event, an
mm,
amazing night. And just
mm,
from looking at the chat, I believe we're on to something again in the climate that we're in. People reinventing themselves. People are living to be 100 and something years old. Of course,
mhm.
they might not want to work that long,
Right.
but if you want to go back to school and you want to reinvent, you want to do something different, you want to change your whole mindset, want to be another resource to your family, you shouldn't be afraid to do that. And that was just the whole thing for me. I happen to work for an organization where I can pay my student loans. Everybody won't have that situation. And as a result, a lot of people won't go back to school because they can't afford to do so. And I just really want to pay forward all of the blessings and all of everything that has been bestowed upon me by being able to help others. And that's the whole concept of Take Two. You invest in the arts because I love the arts and support the arts and those artists, but also pay it forward and give to somebody else. So anybody else who's in on this effort and believe in this mission, when I send out that thank you email, please click on the take2.org website page and go in and make a donation. Tell us what kind of other art events that you like, and then we will plan for next year. We're thinking, and we this is still up in the air, but I think our next event, it will be virtual because of Omicron, Ogeron, or whoever the variant will be at that time. But we're looking at doing a paint and sip and
With
sound
sound.
with sound,
Yep.
paint and sip with sound. So that we're looking at it being in the first or the second weekend in April, but
Mhm.
those details are yet to come. So just know that as soon as you all tell us what it is that you would like to see us do, that is what we're going to do. And when you see it for next time, because you've enjoyed yourself so much tonight, please, please, please invite others to come and be a part of it as well.
Yeah, yeah. And on behalf of the board, I'm speaking for the board tonight. We're proud of you, Alice, and we look forward to working with you to help make your dreams come true. And when we make your dream come true, make other people's dreams come true.
Yes,
And we really
yes.
we're going to pass it forward. I also like to say special thanks to our producer for the night. You can't see her, but
Oh, yes.
Jessica Perkins. She's the one who put all of this together, logistically and technically. And thank you, Jessica, for all that you've done. And you say you have a short survey. So you want to go through that? How we do that, Alice?
Yes. So when I send out the thank you note from tonight, we're actually also going to include the link for the performance tonight. And we're doing that because we had 155 people to register for the event. Of course, we had to change the date, so we lost some of the individuals, but we're going to send out a link to this recording so people can go back and watch this. There will be a survey, a quick survey, Survey Monkey. I think it's got 5 or 6 questions. Real
Mhm.
quick, just click on the first 5, and then the last one will ask you what other artistic experiences you like for us to share with you throughout the course of the year next year as part of our fundraisers. So we're just asking everybody to please, please, please take a moment to complete that survey. It helps us know and see how well we did tonight, where we could improve for the next time, and make sure that we're taking into consideration the things that you like to see us do with you so that we can make sure that we move this mission forward. So,
Okay. So 1 hour, 16 minutes. I am on my time.
yes, you are.
Thank you guys so much. And please, takeii.org. Share that website, share it with your family and friends, and do your part to pass forward. Thank you. And until next time, I'm Garrett Davis for Take Two.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night.